Thanks everyone for joining us. This is the April 8th Odessa R-VII Board of Education meeting. We have already established a quorum. At this time, I'm going to ask for an approval of the open session agenda, please.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you. And now I would ask for the approval of the consent agenda items.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, communication and reports.
We don't have any communications for this month.
No communication for public comment, no community input.
Nope, no requests were submitted.
Okay. Next thing on the agenda is making a difference.
Yeah, I'd like to recognize and congratulate Mr. Gary McCauley. Mr. Shippey's going to present you with a plaque. Computer teacher at Upper Elementary, Mr. McCauley was chosen as the April Making a Difference Award winner for the district. His peers had the following comments to say about how he makes a difference. He has a passion for teaching kids about computers and coding. He has developed a great robotics club that many students are excited to be a part of. He's been an asset in the development of the Students Broadcasting Club as well. He is always willing to help others and has been an asset since joining the OUE staff. And Mr. McCauley, we appreciate your attitude, your positive attitude, and your passion for educating kids, and thank you for everything you do.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
It's quite a surprise, quite an honor.
You're in here every other month.
I know.
I think this is the first time without students.
Yeah.
In it. It's kind of an unusual feeling there, but yeah, I do appreciate it. Like I said, it was a great surprise. Teaching for so long, my experience with the students at OUE has been nothing but positive. Absolutely great kids to work with. And I was telling Dr. Fagan the other day about, I am throwing so many new technology things at the students that they've never done before. And, they take it, they enjoy it, and learn quite a lot. So, and that goes through our apps in my classes, as well as the robotics club with the fourth graders that we're currently doing now. But it's amazing, and we're having a lot of fun. So, enjoying every minute of it. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
your
you.
worship.
Okay, the community champion.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate the Odessa R-VII School District Foundation. They've been chosen as the April Community Champion Award winner for the district. If you guys want to come forward. The foundation actively supports the students and staff of the district through annual student scholarships and several teacher grants that they provide. The support helps the students reach their educational goals, and teachers create a better learning environment for the students. And on behalf of the district, we appreciate everything that you guys do to support us.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Yeah, this is an honor for us. And this is not just for the group doing it now. It's for the past 20 years of people who've served on the board and who have done it too. So, because they've made a big impact getting this all started. And the board members who've served on it, and the superintendent and assistant superintendent, because they're part of it. Janet is part of that. So it's for all of us and all these years you've done it. So
Thank you.
thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Both the foundation and Mr. McCauley will be have been recognized on social media, and they've got plaques in the office that'll hang there through the end of the year as well. So, congratulations to both Mr. McCauley and the foundation, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Okay, it's time for our academic focus.
Mr. Shepherd.
Good evening. Tonight we're going to have members of our DECA program come up and talk. These students have qualified for a national competition? International. And I told Miss Wade, whatever I say will probably be wrong, so I'm going to let her talk. and two of them only have 10 minutes. I'm not going to waste your time, so go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jessica Wade. I think I know most of you here. So these are 3 of my students who have qualified for international competition. We actually have 7 students who are going to ICDC this year, but the other ones couldn't make it. So I do want to hand out some highlights of our DECA program this year, some of the big things that we've done. There you go. Just a few things to point out. As far as these students are concerned, they are all multi-year ICDC qualifiers, which is a really big deal. All of my students who have gone, or who are going to ICDC this year, have qualified more than once. And I do want to give a special shout out to Ella, because she is the first person in OHS DECA history to ever qualify for ICDC 3 times. And she also was on stage her freshman year as a state finalist. So she is setting records over there. But all of them have done a fantastic job. I'm going to go ahead and hand these out too. There's like lots of different examples, but these are examples of their paper. And so what they do, the kids in my advanced marketing and my marketing research class either do a marketing research project or a community service type of project. And part of that project is that they write a 20-page paper. Well, they conduct the project, they write a 20-page paper, and then they do a 15-minute professional presentation at districts, state, and internationals. And they compete against all different levels, all different sizes of schools. Like there's no like class 3, class 2, none of that. Like we compete against all the big schools in St. Louis, and so I feel like for a very small school, we do pretty well. So I'm gonna stop talking because they all want to talk, and you guys can introduce yourselves and go for it.
My name is Grace Smith. My project was a hospitality and tourism operations research. This year the topic was how to implement AI into businesses. So I chose to do Lily's Cantina, which is a Mexican restaurant in downtown Kansas City. The first thing I did was I figured out the business's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to figure out how I could best implement AI. I did a bunch of research. Pretty much all of first semester I spent figuring out how AI is used in restaurants because I had no idea how it was being used. I did a personal interview with the owner. I sent a survey to all the customers. I looked through all of the social medias that they currently have and did all my research. From all my research, I was able to find findings and conclusions and gain a target market for the business. With all my information, I created the plan Salsa because it's a Mexican restaurant, so I wanted to have a Mexican theme, which I have Synergy, which is standing for multiple technologies bundling into one, Analytics, getting the data for the business, Lily's Express, which is the future of Lily's Cantina, social media presence that needs to be improved, and upgrades to their app utilizing AI and getting customized menus for dietary restrictions that customers need. I created 4 objectives, created a budget that was friendly to the small business since I don't want to take out a lot of money, and then had an evaluation of how I was going to measure these as successes and why I chose to do each of these ideas for AI.
So I'm Elle Smith. I also did a research project, so we have the same topic over AI implementation, only mine was over business services operations research. So I chose Gerber Transfer and Storage. So when I present this to the judge, I generally would start off with a question to kind of get them engaged before I even give them any information. Gerber is a local company here in the KC metro area. From there, I would talk to them about my SWOT analysis and kind of explain what a SWOT analysis is and then how it is effective to the business and how it is beneficial when I have found my research and as I look into creating a plan. From there, it takes me straight into my research where I highlight the methods that I use. So spending all first semester, I did a face-to-face interview, many emails and phone calls with the owner of the company, as well as I had some previous experience with her a past week this summer creating trifolds and brochures. For my secondary research, I highlighted their website, Facebook, their Google reviews, as well as exactly what AI is and how businesses and other moving companies are using it, while also looking into their competitors. From my research, I was able to narrow down my target market to figure out who I was really looking to target with my plan and the AI implementation. From my target market, I was able to come up with goals and create an initiative that Gerber would follow as they look to implement the plan called Move with AI. M standing for media, O standing for office, V standing for value, and E standing for expanding. And these goals would be later implemented and expanded on with my plan. With my plan, I am able to highlight things from each category of the initiative Move with AI. Each one does highlight and add AI to Gerber's current plan, as well as being able to measure my effectiveness and how the plan really does work in their day-to-day business situations. From there, I have my budget. So when I was presenting, I would take these off to be able to show the judge specifically what each thing is and then how much it would cost. And I'm able to highlight my monthly budget and my yearly budget, as well as I do expand on the ROI and how the budget is friendly to a smaller business, as AI and technology can be very expensive.
Alrighty guys, my name is Gretchen Kimmel. I have a little bit different of a project. I did project management. So if you guys know what Unified Prom is, I did that all myself this year. So that was a big task I took on. I did sponsorship meetings. I made with different special education coordinators and kind of just went around and saw if this was something that we wanted to do. We were able to invite 8 different districts from around the communities just to kind of come and enjoy this day with us. So as you can see, I did something a little different than those boards. I put all my stuff on record. So I kind of went about the problem. I figured out that 40% of students with special needs didn't get the accommodations met in the classroom, and with the traditional setting like a prom, that need's only going to rise. So I created goals, which was attendance, participation, and connections to kind of keep me motivated on what this event is really trying to involve. And then our risk management was Santa. We had Mr. Carmody come out and actually be Santa for Unified Prom, which was a really special thing for me. And so I kind of just made sure that some of the risks that I thought might happen, I would absorb to make sure that they won't actually happen. And then I also created a SWOT analysis. And then again, for the budget, I kind of went around and talked to different local community people to see if this was something they wanted to help with. And we had, before Unified Prom, we had a Say Yes to the Dress event, which is where students got to kind of look in front of a mirror and see if this was the dress that they wanted, and also kind of make the day flow smoother when they actually got there and were able to try on the dresses and everything. And then they also got their hair and makeup done from volunteers and got to enjoy a hot cocoa bar. There was a whole bunch of different things that they got to be included in. And then after the event was over, we again had the movie, and we did Senior King and Queens for all the districts. And then here's just some pictures if you can see them. We had like parting cups for students to be able to take home with them, and Mr. Carmody, and then a hot cocoa bar, and yeah.
Do you all have any questions for them?
I think you mentioned this. How long is the presentation portion of the
So
competition?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they really had to, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they compete at districts and then state, and if they make state, then that's when they go to ICDC.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
and not to brag, but we have kind of a reputation. So when we show up and people want, like, people see our boards and you can see how nice they look, but they'll be like, oh, you're from Odessa. I'm kind of scared. And I do want to say that we entered 4 research projects at state this year, and all 4 qualified for ICDC.
Mhm.
And 2 of them were state champions. So,
That's
like,
awesome.
that's pretty huge. And if you look at their papers, like, there's
Yeah.
so much work that goes into this. It's
Yeah, there
insane.
really is, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you guys select your research vendor?
So I chose Gerber Transport and Storage. It is a local moving company here in the KC metro area. My grandma has worked for them and is good friends with the owner, and while my grandma is now retired, she still does help them on the offside. So she's someone that I've kind of grown up with and heard her name here and there and been able to learn about Gerber as I've grown up. And so when I got the topic this year, I kind of thought to try Gerber as a moving company. I was kind of unsure about it because I'm like, how's a moving company going to implement AI? But it ended up working out really well for me.
For me, I took a research project sophomore year with a partner, and it is her aunt's restaurant in Kansas City. And so when we did a research project this year, we wanted to continue that since we did so well last time. I didn't research, but this is, someone started this last year. The special education people came to Miss Wade and was like, we want to have this event, and we found Eva and Michaela. They're actually going ICDC again this year, but they took this project on last year, and then I took it on this year.
I can speak from experience. I know the stuff that I learned in DECA when I was in high school has been invaluable to me in my adult life. So you guys all speak really well and just do, make eye contact. This is like so important in your adult life. Not even just professionally, but just like managing relationships, with people that you have relationships with is vital, it's important. So you guys are awesome.
Agreed, yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off of him. Communication is off the charts. You guys are like killing it, that way. And communication, if you guys, keep this up, like you already got a foot in the door whenever it comes to getting a job. So kudos, you guys are doing awesome.
I would agree that all the content knowledge in the world cannot make up for the ability to sit across from someone eye to eye and have a conversation. And you all, this was tremendous. Your skill set is going to serve you very, very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Mrs. Wade. Those are way better than when I was in I wouldn't have made it. If I was competing against them, those girls, I would have never made it. Yeah. I did make it one year, but I would not have made it against them. They would have destroyed me.
I would have been a great page turner though.
Yeah.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the finance report.
Good evening, everyone.
Amy.
Tonight, I just have a short update. Contracts for probationary and tenured teachers and staff have been distributed, and we will be distributing the extra duty contracts and letter of intents for our non-certified employees later this month. And we are preparing for employee benefit open enrollment for the district. Open enrollment begins on April 23rd and ends on April 29th. I think my date is wrong. It is April 24th through May 5th. There are no plan changes. Dental and vision insurance will continue to be provided through MetLife Insurance. And that's it.
Thanks, Kat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Instruction report.
All right. So yesterday we had our final district professional development day of the school year. So we started out in the morning. All district staff came to an insurance and benefit meeting in the OHS auditorium. Letters training was continued and completed for one cohort. We'll finish up the second cohort next year. Curriculum meetings were held for ELA, math, and science. OUE and OMS both held MAP training for staff, as that is coming up, a requirement for staff to go through to administer the MAP test. OHS had training for all of their staff on accommodations and modifications, as well as experiential learning. McQuarrie had PD on high frequency words and took a deep dive into our current ELA resource, Ready Reading. K-8 is still implementing their math pilot resources, which are still iReady Math and Reveal. High school still working on finding what's going to work best for their specific courses and advanced classes to meet those diverse needs. 612 is still piloting their ELA resource, Common Lit. This resource, we had a really good discussion yesterday about how this resource is really aligning 6th grade through 12th grade in their curriculum standards, making sure every standard and every grade level is getting hit. MAP testing begins next week, so teachers have been reviewing and preparing students in order to show what they know on that test, doing all the MAP testlets and just reviewing what they've learned all year, so ELA will kick off next week. We had our CSIP meeting on March 25th, so team members broke into their priority areas. They updated goals, action steps of what has been accomplished from last year to this year, and then what needs to be continued to work on for the following year. Our next and final meeting is scheduled for April 24th. And then DCI surveys for staff and DESE surveys for staff, parents, and students have been sent out. The DESE surveys close on Friday, so we should receive those reports from the state middle of May. So we're anxious to get those.
Can you track on that, how many responses you're getting?
I cannot, no, not on the DESE one. The DCI one that we did just send to staff, I do have a dashboard I can look at. So we did see that, and the majority of our staff did participate in that survey. So our representative comes at the beginning of June to go over those results with all of the administrators.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Maintenance report.
Okay, just a few items, because I'm gonna touch on some of the big ones during the discussion items, but ag building entrance door has been completed, and now it matches everywhere else and functions, so that's good. Sidewalks, still working on that project, through that with Excel. Working with IDS and working through the tile at the middle school. Mike has been through there taking some pictures, we've sent some pictures off, so they're digging back through to see where we are on that, and talking with Mike and seeing what perhaps they will do or we will do as far as correcting that, so that's in the works. We've got a sewer line out here at the high school we're gonna repair over Easter. Barkers are scheduled for the 16th to cut down 2 of these trees. They're marked, the root systems are causing problems with the sewer line, so 2 of the big trees will come down, and then Triple C will be here later in that same week to fix it while we're out of school, to get that main line fixed. It's the main line that takes out about 2/3 of the building here at the high school, so pretty important. And then a few things coming up in the summer, aside from the bigger projects. I'm gonna seal some break in a few places, some grease traps, work on some electrical here at the high school, and some plumbing at Upper, and some paint at Upper. So we got quite a few big things planned for maintenance. That's it.
Good. Mr. Ryder? Okay, superintendent's report.
Yeah, your building reports are in your packet for your review. Most of my stuff right now, legislation is happening down in Jeff City. The Senate Appropriations Committee has the budget that has been through the House. Some of the key points include, as of right now, the increase to the foundation formula for next year is equivalent to what it is this year without with the appropriation. It's still not the full increase that is required per state statute, because the SAT is supposed to go up again next year. So we'll see where all that flushes out. They are anticipating full funding of transportation, funding the minimum teacher salary grant again, as well as career ladder, which is a good thing. The minimum wage bill, House Bill 567, originally this bill did not include public entities, but that has been included. Looking at our salary schedules, if that were to pass, we would have to make a couple small adjustments to a couple spots, but for the most part, all of our salary schedules exceed $15 an hour to start. House Bill 711, open enrollment. This is in the Senate Education Committee at this point. Speculation right now is that the Senate is going to probably add to this bill, which will force it to go back through the House before it can be voted on from the Senate again.
What are they gonna add to it, Rob?
I don't know
Is it
exactly what
friendly?
they're gonna add, but they are speculating some addition to it. There is a bill for several school safety measures that there's been some discussion that there's several things in different bills that are talking about combining several things from different bills into basically a school safety bill. So we're kind of waiting to see what that looks like, but honestly, several things that have been mentioned, I think, are a lot of things that we're already doing around here. So there will be some things, obviously, I'm sure we need to expand upon, but that's okay. It's, what we need to do. So other than that, there's about a little over a month left in session, so it's gonna get pretty busy down there for sure over the next month.
Any update on reducing the residential tax rate?
No, and there's a couple different bills that are addressing local revenue, but there's nothing has been approved at this point. So. Where nothing has got through both houses at this point, I should say that.
I did see that, the county's opening up the applications for the seniors mid-April. The 15th, okay. And there's no deadline for that, obviously, they'll come in.
Right now, it's the end of July.
Okay,
Future years, it'll be April 1st to June 30th.
okay,
And I believe Johnson County already has opened up their window.
okay. So we'll know in July how many properties are impacted and
should. That was all I had.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to the discussion items section. Number 19 on your list is the child care center rates.
Cat's here. Talk about those.
Last April, we proposed and the board approved increasing the child care center rates for the next 3 years. This year, we increased the under 2-year-old rooms from $135 to $152.50, and the over 2-year-old rooms from $110 to $125. The approved increase in new rates for the 25-26 year for the under 2-year-old room will be $167.50, and the over 2-year-old room will be $140. These rates will take in effect in August of 2025.
Any questions?
Even with the raises, we're still deficit spending.
Until next year.
That was the anticipation.
We'll probably have to reevaluate
Yeah.
next year too.
Yeah.
Well, last year you approved for last year, this year, and next year already.
Yeah.
And so we would evaluate after that point where we're at. We're anticipating, hopefully we will be, if nothing else, we'll be a lot closer to break even next year. So. And then we'll reevaluate after
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Macquarie facility update.
that. Dr. Fagan.
All right, so been doing some work with Macquarie with a committee of community members, so I'm going to basically kind of try to attempt to summarize where we are and how we got here. You'll see a couple of familiar names on that list that are here as a part of that group, so if I miss something or overlook something or misspeak, please do speak up. But had a wide range of community members and parents on this group to have these discussions. So the committee has met twice over the last couple months, just getting input from them, those folks getting input from other community members about locations that have been discussed, as well as some of the financial considerations that go into this project, both with a no tax increase bond issue, as well as a fund for tax levy increase. So the overall consensus of that group is that a completely new building should be constructed out where OUE is currently. The committee believes that this is going to provide the best overall experience for our students, for our community, and they feel like that the community would support the new tax to make that possible. So just some of the bullet high points, I think, of that suggestion. Make sure I'm on the right slide, yeah. So if that is not the solution, the building would be put up in phases, perhaps here on the site. That being in phases creates a lot of noise and other distractions during that construction, which would be lengthy. Phasing in that building also means that realistically an entire new building wouldn't be possible for 10 or more years, just because of bonding capacity that we have as a district to be able to generate the amount of funds. Switching to kind of some pros at Upper, building near the current building on that site offers a more secure environment for those students and for the teachers in both buildings. And building near that site, or near the current building, also does save some money over other places on that site just because of infrastructure needs that are there. Oops. So there is just a drawing of a possible site. Again, nothing's set. This has just been conversation of this committee. So a possible future site of that elementary building would just be just to the south and west of Upper. So if you're familiar, or if you have kids that play soccer, that's the Upper soccer field that's out there for Parks and Rec soccer. So that's one option that has been considered. The gym here at Macquarie, so even with that scenario, and that being built, the gym here is in good condition and could be used by the district and the community still. So the funding opportunities, I mentioned the no tax increase bond issue and the levy increase. So these two opportunities, the no tax increase bond issue would generate approximately $17 million for that construction. A capital levy increase of $1.30 into Fund 4 would be dedicated specifically and completely to capital projects. That would generate an estimated $28 million for construction. So those two items together would generate the estimated $45 million needed for the new elementary school. And here's just a quick little scenario, a property tax estimate on a $250,000 home. Currently, that taxpayer is paying approximately $2,250 for real estate taxes. With the new tax, that particular home would see an increase of approximately $617. So that's just one rough scenario. Again, we're in the really early stages of this process with the committee. All of this information will be in great detail many times between now and this coming to fruition. Here's a couple of comparisons. On the left there, you see our current taxes and where we fall. Those are Lafayette County schools with our current tax rate. And then at the bottom, you see our comparison for our base teacher salary. So we're the largest school. We're a large employer who employs a lot of people, and we do pay accordingly in comparison to Lafayette County schools. If we were to see the $1.30 increase, that would put us at the top of the county schools, but that would also see us in a brand new elementary school for our K-2 students.
And I think some of the feedback is, I saw Daniel, I didn't know if Caleb was here. But something that was brought up with the committee is, like you said, Roger, we are the biggest district in the county, so it makes sense that we would be at the top with the levy increase.
Right.
I just feel like that's important to
Yeah,
call out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this has been adjusted, I mean, I think for we increased that increase for that $1.30 was increased based on.
So some initial numbers we got from LJ Hart had that at $1.20, but with some of the legislation and the changes with taxes,
Right.
Looking up the road, feel like that the $1.30 in their calculations would be necessary to get
Go back
that dollar amount.
for me 2 slides, Roger. What was the initial 17 million from?
That was from a no tax increase bond issue.
Okay. Just basically capitalizing on our open bonded indebtedness under the current levy.
That's the maximum we could with
Understood.
our bonding capacity. Yep.
That's why they're saying it would take 10 years if we did it in phases and we didn't have a levy increase. We
Right.
just carried on the current bond at its
Right.
rate.
Yeah, so if we had the no tax increase bond issue and had just that, we would have approximately 17 million
Right.
to do phase 1, and then approximately 10 years later, that we could generate another no tax
Until
increase
the
bond
debt
issue
retires. Understood.
to finish the project. So some other topics and kind of some next steps, develop more detailed information just about the building design and the possibilities that are there. And the committee getting the word out about this opportunity for the community, discussing options for the current Macquarie building. That'll be a topic for the committee as well as the district and the community. Involving patrons in these conversations as the information is shared. Lots of getting out there and talking to the patrons and offering multiple opportunities for them to come and get the information. And then also they had talked about sharing some research about just the positive impact that quality schools have on a community as a whole, whether it be roads or businesses that come, with more people coming to town, so do more businesses, and so does better infrastructure even as the community as a whole. So all considerations that they've discussed over those meetings.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be I think this is the right thing, what we need to do. small ask. So on our side, there's a lot of selling and we need to do and getting out to the public. And, you know, our goal is by the time next April comes, that there shouldn't be anybody in town that doesn't know what Odessa wants to do with their elementary school.
You're spot on, Cole. With this community supports schools 100%. We've just got to be straightforward and tell them what we need it for and what we're doing. Let them know. And I believe they'll support it. I really do.
Yeah, I think the traffic issue, I don't think we listed that, Raj, but, you know, that's something, right now, we've got a bit of an issue, with all our schools congested over here, that we've got some issues that we can work out at the upper site, so that's something we'll wanna keep an eye on, make sure we're improving and not making it worse than it currently is on Cox School. So I think that's another benefit,
And to that point, MoDOT, just so everybody else knows too, MoDOT has been on site and done some line of sight measuring out there and has identified the locations where drives would be possible. So the next step is they have also provided some engineering firm contact information, so we'll get a traffic study going. So the traffic study then tells how many cars east and west each day, and then that information goes to MoDOT for them to talk about if we were to need a turn lane from one direction or the other based on that information. So that's in the works as well, yeah.
The Children's Service Fund for other schools in the county has provided flashing lights for entry and egress onto state routes. So be sure to look at that if and when.
Okay.
For that exit on the Route 011.
So, and then you put in here too, you say ballot measure conversation, I'm assuming, is the committee then planning on doing something to where the public has an opportunity to, you know, speak out about something or maybe share concerns or whatever, to where we can get their input as well, or?
So there will be multiple of those.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Of those informational meetings, just to get the information out there, allow people to ask questions, share their thoughts.
Okay, good.
Yep.
And I think our next meeting, we really should be game planning on what that looks like, what events we're gonna be, you know, targeting, bringing in ideas. So I guess anyone in here, anybody that's online listening, if you've got ideas, reach out to these committee members, let them know your thoughts.
Can we put this list out? I mean, to, like on our social media and just say, hey, these are the committee members, or?
Yeah.
I know this is like very, very early on, but I mean, was there any discussion on like redoing the pickup and drop off at OUE? Incorporating that into like some of this?
So that'll all have to be part of it, yeah, with the added, so regardless of if this building is put out there, whether it's right up next to it or somewhere else, there will have to be another entrance, exit to the south. What that looks like traffic flow wise, I don't know yet, you know, whether it's an exit or an entrance or where buses go, those conversations, but yes,
I mean, we're adding for potentially the new elementary school, but there's still a problem on Cox School Road with OUE, and so using this opportunity to try to correct that would be important.
Yeah, I think that'll,
Making some support.
should be improvements. So, right, we're impacting more than one school now.
Right. Exactly.
I think at this point, IDS is probably just preliminary engineering stuff on travel,
Just kind of where
on traffic. So, yeah, I would expect them to take a hard look at how current patterns are going and how they improve that.
The only other thing I would add, it's my last opportunity to add, is this is the mindset as we interact with the community. This is an ask, not a tell, right? We're welcoming all input. It's a solution environment. Important to remember.
Yeah, help us help the kids.
Okay, you missing anything, Kelsey? Thank you.
Sorry, are we going to have this as a discussion item every month moving forward, or
as we have progress moving forward.
Okay.
Yes. It will be,
Have
Part
we
of-
talked about?
yeah.
Okay.
I wanna make sure that everyone has an opportunity, not just the board, but the community sees that the board is engaged and knows and can answer any questions as well.
Absolutely.
Because you could get questions that they might not come to us.
I appreciate all the work that everyone's done, all these people that are on this committee so far.
Yeah, we've had some really good insight. Obviously, you know, people on the committee are advocates for the school. And the trick's gonna be reaching out to people that don't have kids in school, right?
Yeah.
So, but with that, on that committee, you'll find past board members and, you know, people with some knowledge of, yeah, that's the plan. And I think, you know, we're getting a long-term, plan together as well to do that with this. So everything will be aligned, right? So we can talk about what we plan to do with that space with, Macquarie gone and what we can do with that space in the future. Okay, if there's nothing else on that. We'll move to the, district improvements update.
Sure. So just a little update on what we have going on now, instead of what's hopefully ahead. We've talked about projects that we have going on now or early in the summer, and just kind of a quick update on each of those. Softball's in progress, baseball's be at the end of the season, and then dates for the other projects are scheduled, all of which in early June, early to mid-June projects. So looking forward to those all coming up and providing updates as they progress. Just a few softball things since it is underway. I say underway, the dirt work will most likely be done by the end of the week, and turf is scheduled for delivery on Monday, and it could potentially be done at the end of next week. And that project will be complete as far as I
We
can.
have the parking lot up there. Any type of plan to get repairs on that?
We're kind of just waiting till it's,
I mean, they
till
get,
that's
to get off,
done.
yeah.
And then going from there, kind of after we had these done, we had talked about looking at that, you know, financially, once we knew what was committed for all of these, and if we didn't run into problems or issues along the way that would take something extra that we weren't expecting, so.
Yeah, soils out there just,
Yeah.
unless we've had issues out there with everything we put out there.
Yeah.
On the outfield, have they noticed any issues drainage wise?
They haven't, but they're gonna look at it, and address it, and they're gonna, especially on the warning track with some of the soil they've taken off, and address the low spots in that and get it cleaned up like it should be.
One person I talked to said right field was the point to really focus on.
Okay.
So,
I was told left.
yeah, they said right field
Okay.
had a pretty bad low spot that they.
Okay.
Okay, move to action items. First of which is the 2025-26 career ladder plan.
Yes, so in your packets is the proposed updated district career ladder plan. DESE had made updates to their model plan that they encourage districts to write their plan based on those. So highlighted are the changes that DESE had made, so we did those same updates. The main updates in there are just a couple of things. They worded things a little bit more generalized to allow for districts to get teachers more opportunities to get the hours needed to gain the incentives for completing career ladder hours. And then you have to have 2 years completed as a Missouri teacher to be eligible for the career ladder program. So they added something in there for if you are in the armed forces or a spouse, you are exempt from that 2-year requirement. So the application for participation in next year's career ladder program is now open, and so to apply we just need our approved district plan to go ahead and put that application in for career ladder opportunities for next year.
What's the pro rata state contribution?
it stays 60%.
60,
Yes.
okay.
That hasn't changed.
Is that gonna continue to be funded?
As of right now, it is, it's in the budget. It hasn't been approved or signed.
It's there.
But it's
in
there. Put our name in there.
Okay, if there's no more question, I will take a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2025-26 career ladder plan.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the National Telehealth Solutions Student 365 Health Program.
Yeah, thank you. This was presented to me. It's a mental health program for students K through 12 through the National Telehealth Solutions organization. They offer a wide range of services, and I included the information they provided. Emotional health, mental health, relationship counseling, counseling related to school issues are just some of the topics. The program is designed as a telehealth program. There are also in-person supports for students in crisis as they're identified. The design of being telehealth, excuse me, the design of being a telehealth program is it can put students in contact with help much quicker. And for the younger generation, the phone and tablet is their go-to as opposed to an in-person visit, a lot of times anyway. The approval request is for the attached search for funding request form. By approving, the district is allowing them to look for program funding of this. They will then search for public or private funding that would support or cover 100% of the cost, and if they don't find that funding to support the program, you know, we would obviously not have to move forward. We actually don't have to move forward unless we want to anyway, even if they do obtain the funding. But it would be brought back before the board for formal approval before we did move forward. So this is just for them to go search for the funding to support this program.
Any questions on that? Okay. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the search funding request.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carried. Next item is the fuel bidding.
We recently solicited bids for bus fuel for the upcoming school year, received 3 bids, FNP Petroleum, MFA Oil Company, and John Moore Oil Company. The information's all there, be glad to answer questions if you'd like. I would recommend,
Oh, no, it's.
yeah, F&F. It is F&F. I had a typo in one spot.
Oh, okay.
The recommendation would be for the 1-year fixed bid price from MFA Oil, which is $2.9781 a gallon, about 25 cents less than we're currently paying from MFA Oil, so.
I make a motion to approve MFA Oil Company.
Second.
Those in favor? Thank you. Next item is change order with the Mid-America Sports.
So with Mid-America, this change order out, I'll give you the short version. When we had an alternate for unsuitable soils, because we suspected that could be a thing, so that alternate was approved previously for $19,784. When in this process, the size of the machinery, the timing of everything, they requested to use rock instead of the chemical stabilization method. That rock is approximately $5,000 more expensive, which really ultimately gives us probably a better product in the end anyway. But so that was a $5,000 change to alternate 1. However, during the process also when they dug down, there is existing drainage under the field that was unknown when they bid it. So saving some of that drainage cost was a $5,000 deduct to the base bid. So 5,000 add, 5,000 deduct, $0, and we have rock instead of dirt, and they didn't have to do as much drainage work. That's the short of it.
So a change order with 0 change.
$0 change.
$0 change.
I'd like to make that
Yes.
motion.
They're confident that the drainage is gonna be sufficient for everything they're doing.
Yes, and actually the drainage that's there is more than what was spec'd for the project initially. Yes, they had, it was flat drains every 25 feet, and this is 4-inch drains every 20 feet.
Okay.
So, yes. And they actually dug up the drain, and they were still good as far as rock and fabric, but they actually dug those all up, put in new fabric and new rock around all the existing drainage as well.
Good drainage there.
Yeah.
I know, look out.
I'll second your motion.
Thank you.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carried. And the Patterson Family Foundation grant application.
So I'll start this one off, but Mr. Collins, who just walked in, can add what I miss. The Ag Department would like to apply for the Patterson Family Foundation grant. Mr. Collins has been in contact with this foundation. He would like to add an additional greenhouse. The new greenhouse would allow for program expansion in growing as well as implementing new technologies into the program. The old greenhouse would remain, and they would use as a cooling house, as I understand it. So that's the short version. He can talk way more details, I'm sure.
I'll be happy to answer questions. I'll just add to that just a little bit. The current greenhouse is about 21 years old, and it is starting to trend in the maintenance direction. And we've got some things that aren't working, and it's just a matter of time. We need to start looking to do something, and actually I've been most of the day yesterday and today trying to fix some stuff that went wrong. So that's kind of the main goal, and this looked like a good way to give a shot at it, so that's my hope.
How big would the new one be?
The new one would be just a slightly larger, is the one quote that I got. It included a head house, which would be like a storage area that the current one doesn't have. So it would add about 30 feet in length to have that storage area where we're not having to store the soil up at the ag building and all the things we have to track out all winter long, back and forth.
Sounds like a great idea, and I appreciate your heads up on it.
There's a lot of process left to do. More vendors to contact and things to work out, but it's kind of been a tight turnaround when this grant became available to get started on it.
I mean, it aligns well, though. You've got project-based learning, experiential learning here. I mean, it's an ideal application.
Love that you're bringing a solution to a problem we didn't know about. It's wonderful.
Well, and the foresight to see the problem occurring down the road and being able to address it now is better than last second, hey guys, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
We appreciate the support that we've had the last several years from you guys, and we've done a lot in the shop and in the classroom part of the department, and plant science being my specialty, I've just kind of left that be because I have a lot that I can offer to it, but it's becoming taxing, and there's only so much I'm going to be able to do.
I can only add on, Mr. Collins, I can appreciate the growth that you've had in the ag down there. It's unbelievable, and I hope you keep going. It shows.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Don't let anybody approach him.
I make a motion to approve for the application of the Patterson Family Foundation grant.
Motion, a second by Kelly, all in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
2025-26 Child Care Center and SOAR handbooks.
Yeah, you have these handbooks in your packet to be approved. I believe the changes are all highlighted in there. Mr. Armstrong is also here to answer any questions that you might have about them. And if not, I would recommend their approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the child care handbook, SOAR handbook.
I'll second.
Get all in favor? Daniel, you came up for a reason.
it's good for him.
Because he must have asked a simple question.
We Appreciate you, Dan.
We changed those dates.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, I am going to, I need a motion to adjourn to this Sunday. Yep, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting, sign down.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Turn it over to John. South Road.
So at this point, I would, I want to recognize the outgoing board members. Chad Hubbard from 16 to 25. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And if I remember you telling me correctly, you replaced Henry when he got off
That's
the
right.
board, so.
Same seat too. Oh, sorry.
Thank you very
guys.
much.
I appreciate all you guys.
Thanks, Jan.
And Mr. Brad McLaughlin, who served a term, 22 to 25.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your service as well.
My pleasure.
Oh, all this.
Yeah, just the two of you.
Wealth of information. Appreciate you, Brad.
Yeah.
Pictures.
May have to take the plastic off so it doesn't glare on the photo
Will you all
too.
sit down there and sit on your lap?
Now, we'll be doing the bread.
Don't fingerprint it up.
3 whole years.
2, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, the one's from Saturday. It was wrestling.
Thank you, Jan.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
The coaches.
Thank you.
Food administration.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's,
Yep.
are you leaving? Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, ready to go. 9 years.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
It's been a long time
Thank you.
coming. Thank you guys.
Leave your laptop. Brad's been out of commission, what, 3 years ago? Yeah. When you came on?
It's good.
Yeah.
You're in great hands.
Congratulations, guys. Yep.
And now we'll welcome the two of you to take the oath from Janet.
Pretty nice. Good job, sir.
If you'll stand before me, please. Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri.
and that I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of school director
discharge the duties of school director
in and for the Odessa R-VII School District,
in and for the Odessa R-VII School District,
County of Lafayette, State of Missouri,
County of Lafayette, State of Missouri,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
according to law,
according to law,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you, gentlemen. I need for you to sign. This one's yours. Thank you, gentlemen. Welcome to have your seats.
Okay, with the new board seated, I will take motions for the office of board president.
I make a motion for Shippey for
Okay,
president.
do we have a second? Are there any other nominations? At this point, I will go ahead and officially take a vote for Cole Shippey for board president. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? 7-0, Janet.
Thank you.
And I will turn the meeting over to you as the president, Cole. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the confidence, I guess. Okay, next, with that, I'll take nominations for the vice president role of the board.
I nominate Brian Young.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other nominations?
I'll make a nomination for Kelsey Flaggy.
Okay, nomination for Kelsey. Do I got a second? And a second. So, since Brian was nominated first, I'll go ahead and ask for a vote on Brian Young as vice president. All those in favor? Yeah. 1, 2, 4. Take a vote for Kelsey.
Well, that's majority,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now I need a motion for the approval of a board secretary. I got somebody in mind.
I'll make a motion.
Janet?
I'll second that.
Got a motion, 2 seconds. All in favor?
Sorry, right hand.
Now I need a motion for approval of the board treasurer.
Who, for the new board members, has been our finance cat Andrew.
I'll make a motion for Kat Andrew.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Congrats, lady.
Voluntold.
Okay, with that, I'm going to need a motion to conduct a closed executive session, including any record or vote at the next scheduled meeting, per statutes contained in chapter 610.021 RSMO.
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you. Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Aye.
And aye. And now I need a motion to adjourn.
You gotta go back and close.
Is,
That's okay, you can still,
I needed,
you can, we just need to get.
we just need to
stay
get
and go
everybody
into
else,
close.
right? Okay, yeah. So I can go ahead and adjourn, right? Okay, motion to adjourn
Adjourn to closed session.
to closed session, sorry.
So moved.
Okay.
All in favor?